All right, let's talk about a couple of other little side stories that are taking place here. One of the interesting kind of contrasts or conflicts that has arisen over the last few days is the contradiction between anger that Donald Trump has been arrested and the claim that this is really great for Trump. Well, if it's great for Trump, then wouldn't someone be happy about it? But yet all of the MAGAs are furious and they say this is the biggest and most unjust miscarriage of the justice system. Yeah, if it's great for Trump, then you'd think someone would be happy about it. So this reached a sort of fever pitch yesterday, and I'll just give you one example, although there are many. Newsmax anchor Greg Kelly said that while under arrest in police custody, Trump looks even more presidential, if you can imagine it. You know, sit up there visiting with NATO or on during a state dinner with the prime minister of Japan. No. You are at your most presidential while under arrest in a ratty New York City courtroom. Here is Greg Kelly. Listen to him say it.
President Donald Trump, this was technically in police custody today.
Yeah.
Going from processing into the arraignment. And somehow he looks even more presidential.
The brown nosing is giving me cringe, Greg. I'm sorry.
Serious. I mean, we're talking eye of the tiger. This is why so many people are drawn to him. He fights. And by the way, this is all nonsense.
Right.
I've seen the indictment, and it's a joke. It's even sillier than we thought. Oh, by the way, could you imagine Joe Biden being in this situation? Could he survive? Could he thrive? Donald Trump just gave an amazing speech in Mar-a-Lago tonight. We'll get to the details in a moment, some highlights. But first, the Democrats, they wanted this image to be totally different. They wanted a defeated, broken man or under arrest. They wanted somebody like this guy, DSK, when he was arrested. I mean, that looks pretty bad. Or this guy who allegedly, I think, killed his parents, his father. I mean, that's the same table that Donald Trump was sitting at today. Or this guy recently arrested. I mean, this is what they thought Donald Trump would look like. Instead, you know what it looked like? It was back on The Apprentice. There's nothing damaging about these photos. In fact, it's damaging to the people who put him there.
Ooh.
Okay? They will be exposed. In fact, they already are exposed.
Right. So listen, here's the bottom line. There can be truths that seemingly conflict with each other but don't. So for example, I believe it is true that Trump's arrest helps Trump in the Republican primary, and it helps him in two ways. I do believe that there are Republicans who have been kind of disaffected by Trump, who maybe were planning to support someone else or not vote at all in the primary. And some of them will indeed be activated by Donald Trump's arrest because they've been convinced it's unfair or whatever the case may be. So that will help Trump in the primary. The other way it will help Trump in the primary is who on earth has mentioned Ron DeSantis in the last week? Ron DeSantis' name, which was very much front and center in the news, is essentially gone. So good for Trump as far as the primary is concerned. If Trump wins the primary, this does not seem to be good for Trump. And in particular, if there is another indictment, this is the exact type of chaos that surrounds Trump that doesn't get him a single new vote in the general election. And remember, Trump lost by like 8 million votes in 2020. And so if he's going to win in 2024, now, yes, granted, the difference in the states that made a difference is a much smaller number. That's always the case. If Trump is going to win in 2024, he needs to find some new votes, or the Democratic turnout needs to be lower, which may be, and we'll talk about that on a different day. I don't believe that this arrest gets Trump any new general election votes. So these people are really parodies of themselves. This is the new thing. It's great for Trump. Trump looked so presidential sitting there at the defense table. Certainly in the eye of the beholder. To me, he looked angry in the video where he was entering the courtroom, and he looks kind of dejected while sitting there at the defense table. But everyone is going to see in it, to some degree, what they want to see, and I understand that. We'll see ultimately what this does for Donald Trump.